And are you refreshed? Yes. Good. Now what? Now what? You're all stirred up.
So, I've met some amazing people, and we were in conversations, and everybody I met said, you should get in the hot seat. I'm like, I don't know why. But I'll tell you what's coming to me now is that...
Do you think you might speak with clarity? Do you think that you have ideas that are flowing?
I do.
Do you acknowledge that you are a teacher to the core of your being, and that you are an uplifter, and that you are an influencer of bringing people into alignment? And so take the compliment and don't deny it, and don't refuse to own it. Instead, raise your hand as you did. We could feel the contradiction in your vibration. It was why it's a little difficult to sort you out. So what do you want to talk about?
So the thing I want to talk about is that I was drawn in from the art field to wellness coaching and that, and then it went to broader than that, and somebody contacted me about addiction. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go there. The reason I didn't is because I have two sons that for many years were in and out of addiction.
So you collected a lot of data and had a lot of questions and launched a lot of rockets.
I did.
Yeah. Seems like a good reason, doesn't it?
It does.
A lot of momentum.
It is, yes. And so once something clicked. Once I started to understand what I was called for on addiction, I was trying to fix my two boys, trying to help them in a different way, that I just stood back and saw the true being that they were and loved them. And through that, they felt it through me. I did nothing other than love.
We know this to be true, but we want to present it in a way that you can feel the resonance with it. Are you saying that what your experience was is that at first your perspective of what they were about was off-putting to you and scary to you and troubling to you, and that you were ineffective in your actions and behaviors to try to assist them? But then you found a different perspective of them. You didn't let their current condition be your reason that you calibrated to them or saw them in a certain way. You stepped back because your love for them is dominant and your connection to source was already established, and found a harmony with your inner being and saw them through the eyes of source. And when you saw them through the eyes of source, you were no longer pushing them away, and you were no longer calibrating to their problem, but now you were calling them to be cooperative components to who they really are and what they really want. Makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
And isn't it nice, given everything that we've been talking about, to be able to describe it in that way? It's a sure thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is a sure thing. And that's what I want to say to anybody out who has children in addiction or whatever it is, food, alcohol, it doesn't matter. When you see them in a different light.
Be more specific. When you see them.
When you see anyone, it doesn't have to be your children. When you see the true being that they are.
That's what we wanted to hear. The different light, meaning the true light.
Right.
The whole light.
The wholeness.
The whole light.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it took me a while, but when I did, everything.
What happened to you when you did? Relief.
I felt
release of
10 years
resistance.
Younger, because I struggled for a lot of years.
Because you refreshed and regained your power.
I did.
And then called them to theirs.
Yes. And so my message is I just want other people that are going through this, and I know there are people here that are, to see that it works. It works. And my sons are doing amazing now.
So do you have some practical ways of describing how you accomplished the shift? Because it was the shift that you accomplished that you're wanting to teach to others. You're not wanting to teach them anything about the addiction of their loved ones. You're wanting to teach them how to accomplish the shift in them. So what would you say to them about that?
I would say that it came within me. When I saw something different within me, I was able to see, when I saw the more wholeness in me, I saw it in them.
Could you describe it this way a little bit? That at first, their experience brought you so much pain that it reached the place where you had to choose pain or no pain. And it felt like a weird decision to make, to choose your well-being over focusing on your children. But your desire to find your own relief became dominant. And do you believe that was the turning point for you?
I know that was the turning point.
So that's the most important thing that you want to express to others.
Yes.
You got to care about how you feel more than anything else.
Yes.
And that's the tricky part to get across to parents and so forth who have already believed that they should sacrifice everything that feels good to them for their children.
Yes.
That's what your message must be focused mostly about.
Yes.
And then, of course, then you can explain to them what came next and what came next and what came next and what came next and what came next. We're glad those people around you talked you into raising your hand.
Thank you.